Hello students, welcome to our first module of class 8 Civics, Social and Political Life 3, Chapter 4, Understanding Laws. In this module, we will try to understand what are laws. In our previous module of class 8 Civics, we have already discussed about the Indian Constitution. We have also understood what is secularism. We also discussed in our third chapter why we need a parliament. In this module, we will come to know about or we'll try to understand the different laws and how laws are made. So let us begin. You may be familiar with some laws such as those that specify the age of marriage, the age at which a person can vote, and perhaps even the laws dealing with buying and selling of property. We now know that the Parliament is in charge of making laws. So, some questions might be arising in your mind, like, do these laws apply to everyone? Another question that might be arising in your mind is, how do new laws come about? And could there be laws that are unpopular or controversial? We will try to find the answers of this question through our discussion in this module and coming modules. We have already read in our chapter 1, that is the Indian Constitution, that the members of the Constituent Assembly were agreed there should be no arbitrary exercise of power in independent India. They therefore instituted several provisions in the Constitution that would establish the rule of law. The most important of this was that all persons in independent India are equal before the law. The law cannot discriminate between persons on the basis of their religion, caste, or gender. What the rule of law means is that all laws apply equally to all citizens of the country, and no one can be above the law, neither a government official nor a wealthy person, nor even the president of the country is above the law. Any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment, as well as a process through which the guilt of the person has to be established. But was it always like this? In ancient India, there were innumerable and often overlapping local laws. Different communities enjoyed different degrees of autonomy in administering these laws among their own. In some cases, the punishment that two persons received for the same crime varied depending on their caste backgrounds, with lower caste being more harshly penalized. This slowly began to change as the system of law began to further evolve during the colonial period. It is often believed that it was the British colonialists who introduced the rule of law in India. Historians have disputed this claim on several grounds, two of which include, first, that colonial law was arbitrary. Here, arbitrariness is the quality of being determined by chance, whim, or impulse, and not by necessity, reason, or principle. बच्चों, arbitrariness का मतलब हिंदी में होता है मनमाने तरीके से, ना कि किसी सिद्धांत पे. And second, that the Indian nationalists played a prominent role in the development of the legal sphere in British India. One example of the British arbitrariness that continued to exist as part of British law is the Sedition Act of 1870. The idea of sedition was very broadly understood within this act. Any person protesting or criticizing the British government could be arrested without due trial. Another example of British arbitrariness was the Rowlatt Act, which allowed the British government to imprison people without due trial. Indian nationalists, including Mahatma Gandhi, were vehement in their opposition to the Rowlatt Bills. Despite the large number of protests, the Rowlatt Act came into effect on 10th of March 1919. In Punjab, protests against this act continued quite actively, and on April 10th, two leaders of the movement, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu, were arrested. To protest this arrest, a public meeting was held on 13th of April at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. General Dyer entered the park with his troops. They closed the only exit, and without giving any warning, General Dyer ordered the troops to fire. Several hundreds of people died in this gunfire, and many more were wounded, including women and children. This picture here shows troops firing on the people during the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Indian nationalists began protesting and criticizing this arbitrary use of authority by the British. They also began fighting for greater equality and wanted to change the idea of law from a set of rules that they were forced to obey. By the end of the 19th century, the Indian legal profession also began emerging and demanded respect in colonial courts. They began to use law to defend the legal rights of Indians. Indian judges also began to play a greater role in making decisions. Therefore, there were several ways in which Indians played a major role in the evolution of the rule of law during the colonial period. With the adoption of the Constitution, this document served as the foundation on which our representatives began making laws for the country. Every year, our representatives pass several new laws as well as amend existing ones. You have already read in your class 6th Social and Political Life book about the Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. According to this new law, sons, daughters and their mothers can get an equal share of family property. Similarly, new laws have been enacted to control pollution and provide employment. How do people come to think and propose that a new law is necessary? We will further discuss about this in our next module. So let us summarize what we have learned today. According to the Constitution, all are equal before law. Any crime or violation of law is subject to specific punishment. The rule of law applies equally to all citizens, and no one can be above the law. Let us see what you have grasped today. Here are some questions for you. Your question number 1 is, Rowlatt Act was passed on, and the options are A. 10th of March 1919, B. 8th March 1919, C. 12th March 1919, or D. 3rd March 1919. And the correct answer is A. 10th March 1919. Your second question is, rule of law means, and the options are A. all are equal before law, B. same laws are applicable to all, C. no one is above all, or D. all of the above. The correct answer is D. all of the above. Your third question is, Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005 lays down that the options are son, daughters and mother can get equal share in family property, B. only sons can get a share in the property, C. only sons and daughters can get a share in the property, or D. only sons and mother can get a share in the property. And the correct answer is A. son, daughters and mother can get equal share in family property. It's practice time now, and here is some homework for you. Your first question is, state 2 reasons why historians refuse the claim that the British introduced the rule of law in India. Your second question is, state 1 reason why you think the Sedition Act of 1870 was arbitrary. And your third question is, how does equality of law in India prevails? Explain. In our next module, we will discuss about how do new laws come about and unpopular and controversial laws. Till then, take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.